ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how on a day? It's your girl. My name is Glow, also known as Queen Glow, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to another exciting episode of our podcast, Let's Talk with Glow. And this is brought to you proudly by Corper Studios. And as always, you know that I cross 7 rivers and 7 seas to be able to bring beautiful content and beautiful guests to be able to talk about the topic we have for today. And with me in the studio today to do justice to this exciting topic, I have a beautiful lady and I have 3 gentlemen. Now, during the course of the discussion, we'll know if they're actually gentle or not. Now, we have, as always, I start the introduction with introducing the lady. So her name is Lillian Eze, and she is a cook. She is an entrepreneur, and she's also into 1 or 2 side hustles that we'll get to know during the course of the discussion. Then the second person we have Comrade Izora Nnamdi, and if you saw our first episode, you know that he was part of those that spoke about the misconceptions of feminism, and he is an entrepreneur also. And we have Precious Ugochukwu, and he is a script writer, and he's also a sales personnel. Now, the last but not the least, we have Abisoye Adeyemi, and he is an IT expert. Yes, our IT guru in the house. So let's dive directly into the topic of the day. And the topic we have for today is the impact of social media on relationship, on self-image, and on societal norms. And let's just get to meet our guests. Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, so I'm very, very excited to have you here. Nnamdi, how far now?
No idea. This topic na basbos.
But you know, I just introduced all of you as gentlemen, so please be gentle.
I'm not a gentleman, African man.
So African men are not gentle.
I'm not a gentleman at all.
Okay. Okay, so let's dive directly. So let's get to understand your definitions of what you think social media is. Probably let's take it 20 seconds each. So let's start with Let's have Precious.
And for me, I see social media as a space for interaction, sharing ideas. You share, in fact, it's a big space. I have to be honest with you. The social part of it is just the fact that you not involve more than yourself into that big space. Okay. So you interact, you share ideas, you share goods and services, you advertise as well. So for me, that's just what social media is.
Okay. All right. Abisoye, let's hear you.
For me, if you look at social media, it's a concept of 2 different words. We have social, we have media. So what is social, what is media? We know media to be you having the opportunity for people to say things, for people to communicate, interact from wherever they are in the world. And when you look at social is all about the smallest unit of everything. From 1 person to 2 people to 3 people. So when you bring these 2 words together, social media is putting out 1 person's on the media for people to see, putting out 2 people out there on the media as well for people to also interact with. So it's a way you interact with another person by showcasing that part of yourself. That's why I feel social
That's
media.
Beautiful. Let me reserve the baby girl. Nnamdi.
Okay, normally now, according to Wikipedia,
as usual,
normally, because I'm not the authority, and from the authority we'll begin to give our own definition. Sure. So, pardon me, I have to use my both jargon and English, and probably even my native language. Okay. So, according to Wikipedia, social media is just a set of interactive technologies that facilitate the creation and sharing of information through ideas, interests, and area that... I made a mistake. Okay. It's a set of interactive technologies that facilitate the creation and sharing of ideas, interest, vice versa, etc., through virtual community and networks. That is social media. And it's very, very vast. You understand? So I believe that Wikipedia has done justice to that. So due to time, let's go to the next person.
Okay, thank you. Lillian?
Well, for me, social media is quite broad, if I must say. For me, what I understand about social media, it's all about information, how you pass information from one person to the other. The location, you might be here, somebody might be in Abuja or outside the country. Your interaction, your relationship, what you have to give to the person and what the person has to give to you. It's all about networking from one person to the other and what you put out, what you have and what you put out on the social media space. Is what I understand.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so in your own, based on what you understand, it's a general question, anybody can take it. Do you think the life portrayed on social media is actually different from real life? So if you think it is, then you can tell us why you think it's so.
Should we raise our hand?
Okay. You can go.
If I may come in there,
Okay.
I believe your reality is quite different from your social life. There are some persons, what they portray out is quite different from what they give on social media. Why they do that? They do that just to sell their goods or just to sell what they have. They put it out there. They just want to make you believe, oh, this is this, this is that. They're trying to network. They're trying to do a lot of stuff just to get what they want. Do you understand? So their own reality is quite different. Social media for me is never a reality. I don't see it as a reality. I can fake something online and my reality is quite different.
Okay.
Do you get? My reality is quite different. I can just come online, do a lot of stuff because we have some persons on the social media space. They just come out and live a different life, but when you see them, they have a different life. And whereby they mislead a lot of people on that social space. Do you understand? Because their reality is quite different from what they put out there.
Okay.
We might agree with that.
Go ahead.
We might relatively not agree.
So
clap. Me, I don't clap for
I would agree with her to some extent,
Okay.
but I don't want to think that social media is not a platform that you cannot exhibit reality. You can, if you want. All right. So if you say that social, because like there's an example I always give when we talk about social media. If I take pictures now, if there's a cameraman taking pictures of me, I'll definitely want to pick the best. You come to my house is dirty. I will not have us sitting down in the dirty room. I'll clean it. So that's how it is with, for me, social media. The fact that I want to make that space fine, packaged, does not mean that I cannot also present the reality of me. It's just unfortunate. I don't disagree with her. It's just unfortunate that some persons. No.
He's talking about packaging. Packaging is quite different from reality. If you want to sell your product, you can package your product.
I disagree with you.
No, you have to package your product. For you to sell very well, for your audience, for you to get your target audience, it's just like this drink now. If it's not well packaged, definitely I can't get it. I might feel it's not healthy enough.
That is why packaging is aspect of reality.
No, packaging is not the same thing.
Packaging is a subset of reality.
But they are not the same thing.
They can never be the same. You can never find any two that are the same. They can be similar. That's why we have synonymous, similar. It can never be the same.
So you're saying.
But you saying that packaging is not
fake.
No. I disagree.
No, packaging, I'm not saying
it is an aspect
fake.
of reality.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When I was much younger, my grandmother would tell me that the way you dress determines
The way you
your
dress.
Yes. I feel day my house, we wear boxers now, we are singlet day. But if I won't come out, I have to dress well. It doesn't mean I'm living a fake life.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going out there to meet people with diverse orientation. Okay, sorry, I'm digressing now. People that smokes, for example, nothing is wrong with smoking, but have social stigma attached to smoking. There are some sort of people where you go deal with now due to their orientation. If you smoke, they go say, oh, but check men in the world now, they smoke. Their orientation, and their reality.
That was the
Their
point.
reality.
That was the point I wanted to
That
raise.
that social stigma where our society don't attach to smoking. Hypocrite. But when they do was, I know I beg. Let's continue with
Sorry, let's hear
Well,
you.
that's what I wanted to say about it. It's about perception.
Okay.
Are you getting it? See, when we're talking about social media and the life we put out there, you can decide to put out your reality
Yes,
if you want to. You can decide to put out a non-reality part of yourself,
thank
which
you.
is fiction. The question is now, people that are seeing it, which do they believe?
Exactly.
And the question is, why are you putting out the one that is not real about yourself? That comes about,
Because you want to sell you.
do you want to sell
wanna
something?
sell
Because social media is not just a place for you to influence people. It's a place for you to do many things.
Yeah.
So because of the different faces of social media, it's easy for me to tell you, okay, this aspect is where I want to go to. And why am I going to that? So I want to sell something. I want people to see something and then enjoy it so I can make a name for myself. If you look at blogging right nowadays, blogging is just the same thing as me posting things online, being the first to say I had it first.
Okay.
Whether it's real or not,
Or not.
as far as it's me that is posting it first, and I take the credit for it.
Tilo.
Are you getting it? So that's what metamorphosed into all these things that we're talking about. Because I can't tell you that I had it first if I'm not there. The question is, were you there when it happened? But you now start referring to some other sources. So you can decide to put out what is real. You can decide to put out what is fake. But the question is, who are those that you are influencing with it? That is where the impact of social media comes in.
Nice. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's see. How would you say social media actually affects people's sense of belonging or their sense of community? Like, you can go to social media and you post you're making and just post that, okay, let's post this thing so that I can belong to a particular class of people. Do you think social media has anything to do with that sense of belonging?
Yes, because the same way it happens off social media is the same way we want people to see. Remember, off social media, you are enclosed. There's nobody seeing it outside that your jurisdiction. It's only people that you relate with on a daily basis, maybe face to face, that tend to see the social part of your life. But if you don't want others to see it, the question is, if you believe you belong to a certain set of elite group, belonging, and you want others from another sphere to also see that particular set of groups still exists, then you need to start putting it out there. Then they will start believing or start forming us. That's why you see an association here in Nigeria is almost similar to an association overseas because of the fact that it's social media. We have rap gangs in Nigeria. They have rap gangs in US, and you see association. We have Indigo community in Nigeria.
Yeah, we have
It's in the
Yes, it's there.
So that's the effect of social media. So it definitely brings about that sense.
Everybody wants to.
And you know this thing we call trend.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to.
Wants to trend. Yeah, everybody wants to trend. For the fact that you want to trend, you find yourself saying to yourself, okay, Mr. A is talking about sphere A. And a lot of people are accepting or attaching themselves to Mr. A. So because Mr. A is getting successful with fans, if you're having a large fan base, you just find yourself saying to yourself, okay, if Mr. A could do this, I think I could do better.
You just have to.
And before you know it, you just want to go with the trend.
Okay. So, Namdi.
You said something about the trend.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a different opinion to that. Like you said about space. Social media is a very big space.
Yeah, it's a big
You can
space.
cover
Do
the
your
niche
thing.
for yourself.
Yes.
I don't follow the trend. I like doing my things my normal way.
But definitely, even if you like doing your things your normal way, you must have seen it somewhere. You must have seen.
Actually, but anyways, just I want to continue. If you allow me make a land, I've been to go somewhere.
Okay, please go to the end.
Because you made mention about space.
Yeah.
Social media is a very vast space for everybody. You know, our society, we are more or less bagwagonist. In business management, there's something we call theory of bagwagon.
Okay.
Follow. Thank you. Why must you move with the crowd? It doesn't have a name. That means you don't even know who you are. You don't even know your purpose.
That's the sense of
That's the sense of belonging
Thank you.
I was talking about.
So,
Just maybe say we follow.
Now, who can my brother?
We want to be attached to
Yeah.
something. Who doesn't want to be
Yes,
attached to
thank you.
something?
But you don't know what you want to attach yourself to. First, you have to define your purpose first. Social media, if you do anything, the opportunity there. This is what they talk about. That's social media.
Sure.
Instagram will carry on. Facebook will carry on. YouTube will carry on. But are we following the trend? No. we decided to find another thing we will go talk, we go make sense. Even if it is a trend, we don't want to do it because it's a trend. We want to do it because we want to achieve a particular purpose. What is that purpose? Your topic.
Education.
Thank you. To educate, to orient, to learn, and to unlearn. Because when we day small guy, we are fed with a lot of bullshit. And I keep telling people that in this 21st century, education is not being able to read or write, but being able to unlearn, to learn, and to relearn. Because guy, indoctrination they real low. A lot of us here, guy, they fed up with a lot of things as a child. But what makes you educated is for you to be able to learn all those things. Then you're educated.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's see. What would we say are the potential risks of using social media as a form of seeking validation or approval from people?
Wow.
Yes. And then the buzz boss.
Because life is in two phases. We have positive, we have negative.
Sure.
The question is, social media would definitely have positive and negative. Yes. The question is, why are you seeking validation? Before we even put it out there, let's say on social media, let's look at in the family of where you have 2 boys, 1 girl. I know that they would always say the lady wants to start acting as a guy because everybody around them is a guy. So if she goes out there, she wants people to see her as she has that masculine mindset because everybody around her playing with her as a boy. She'll start playing with toys that belongs to guy. That's where we brought about the idea of tomboy because she wants to belong to that particular group. So you think now, assuming is now on social media and she wants to seek the validation, what do you think the perception of people will come about her? Because she's showing it out there for everybody to see that yes, I am this. Then people who tend not to believe in that ideology tend to see her as a negative person.
Yeah.
And this thing we're talking about, seeking validation. The risk there is that you find yourself living not your kind of life, not your life. At some point, when you find yourself living a fake life, if I would use the language.
Almost like
so because that's the very risk attached to seeking validation. I think Namdi was saying something at the beginning of our talk here, that you don't find yourself going with the trend. You should be able to carve out a niche for yourself. But unfortunately, that's the space we found ourselves when we come to social media discussion. There's this thing they say if you put a stick, for instance, into the soil, if it is not deeply rooted, if air comes from this direction, it blows it to this direction, it goes to that direction. So that's what happens when you as the individual, you have not made up your mind on who you are, what you want, the space you want to create, the niche you want to carve out for yourself. So before you know, you're living a fake life. That's the risk of going with the social media without caution.
I want to add something. There is one popular saying in the ancient Kemet, man, know thyself.
Yes.
For the kingdom of God can be found inside you if you know yourself. Self-knowledge is very essential in whatever we do. Sometimes try to know yourself first of all.
So the question is, do you know yourself enough?
Do you know yourself?
So if you know yourself, you won't be seeking validation from others.
You don't have to seek validation from others. In fact, people go use the seek validation because they don't know themselves.
Yeah, but those people that are seeking validation from you too, they don't know themselves. So eventually, it's going to be a ripple effect.
Yes.
Then look at where it goes now. If I know myself as an individual, I don't want us to digress. I have to be living a life, a fulfilled life. I'm making impact. And if I'm making impact, there's a trickle-down effect.
Yeah.
People that follows, people that listens to me.
Good.
I'm cultivating.
What of those people that do not buy into those
They
things?
do not have to buy into that. Why? Because they live in polarity.
Everybody cannot.
I think we are living in a world of duality. You don't have to believe in everything I see. You don't have to, be follow. Sometimes you should be like, okay, go on. Go.
But do you know that this issue of validation has actually brought a lot of issues based around the teenage, the adults? What you see, what you perceive on social media. There are some celebrities that I'm I'm actually following online, you know. Sometimes I listen to them talk, but does not really mean that I have to follow whatever they say. I have to, it's not compulsory, I have to listen to everything they say. I only have to pick the thing that is very important for me, then I can make do. But this issue of social media, there are some persons, like he said, most people will just follow and follow and follow. And at the end of the day, they tend out to just be something else. And at the end of the day, they make some mistakes. Do you understand? And by the time they realize who they are, the time is
because they be the fusionists now.
Do you understand?
Let me put this question out there. It's all about how we were brought up.
Thank you.
If you look at validation, it's all about how we were brought up. Some of us were made to understand that you see that person imitating is a very good person. From that mindset, it means that you want to seek the validation of that person, that you are also a good person. So if you were brought up in such an environment whereby you're not curious, I would say it's the 21st century that is making a lot of us inquisitive, asking questions, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's it. But if you look at our parents, the way they were brought up were to follow the order, whether it is good, no questions asked, because you believe that they have seen before you, and that's where experience is very bad. Because if you experience bad thing, doesn't mean I must experience it with you, and doesn't mean the opposite of what you want to tell me is actually the good.
Yes.
Because you don't even know if that same thing you're telling me that I should not do might be the mistake that will affect me.
Exactly.
I could have done something similar to what you have done in a different way, and I have gotten it. But if you tell me to do the opposite of, because you feel that the opposite of it is the right thing, then I will still definitely want to come back and seek your validation on that particular thing that you said I should do it too. I have done it too. Am I now good?
Okay, thank you so much. Guys, we need to go for a quick break, and when we are back, we're gonna continue with the topic. Stay tuned.
Now, coming to the issue you raise, I don't think it will cost us, or whatever it costs us in doing another election, if this one is cancelled, will tantamount to what Nigeria will gain as a nation if we have sanity in this country. We have a lot of money. A lot of money has been going down the drains. We are trying to establish a leadership that Nigerians will be proud of, that will take Nigeria away from the doldrum we are now.
Hi everybody, welcome back from the break. And if you're just joining us, I won't say you've missed much. Just scroll back and follow up with the topic. We are still talking about the impacts of social media on relationship, on self-image, and on societal norms. And our guests are doing a lot of justice to this topic. So we are going to continue right where we started. So from
where we stop.
Thank you, my dear. From where we stopped, because during the break,
What kind of go back?
they've turned this to the upside down. So let's continue. So let's see, what can we say are the negative impacts now of social media? Like, we can talk about what social media has to do with cyberbullying or privacy concerns, people that use social media. How is your data safe? Like, what kind of things can you actually bring to social media that could label it as safe? And what are the other negative consequences of, using social media all the time or mostly?
So, are we starting with this time?
You can
around?
start.
I thought the ladies first.
Anybody can start.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, let me help you guys. Let me help you. Social media, I said something about the combination of two words. Now, I like starting off social media before bringing it to the public face. For those of us that grew up with siblings that were well exposed in a society that had probably middle class education people or average set of people, they tend to see you as somebody like, what is this person doing? He's not suited for that particular. Because the way they perceive you is you are doing things that they have not seen before. I could remember vividly, I grew up in a family that had 5 girls. And my sisters were gorgeous looking. And then it was like, when guys see them and we are walking on the street, they'll be like, see this one. No, don't worry, that one.
My interest.
So there's this mindset that comes with that, with us growing up in an urban rural area, and it was like, who are all these people? They just settle themselves. All the things they know is speak big grammar to convince us to. You get, that is off social media. Now imagine we are now putting that on Snapchat. We are putting that on Instagram for people to see our lives, to see everything. Then people that do not stay on social media tend to get influenced by what they are seeing. But they won't know we are staying in a rural urban area, because what they are seeing is what we portray for them to see. Now, if you're not looking at the negative impact of that on probably people, you look at it at what influence do you seeing me have on you. If you see me today in a Prado Jeep, if you see me tomorrow in a Lamborghini, and we started together in that same rural urban area, and you'd be like, but what you did is what I did. You don't know what happened afterwards. But because you are seeing me online that I'm posting with Prado Jeep, I'm posting with, you get intimidated. I will start bullying your mindset and your subconscious, because anytime you see, you be like, oh man, now this boy me and now start together. That's where all this thing comes about. And because of the fact that exposure again kills a lot of us, because when we see things too much, we oversee things again. You see, that oversee, that excess is what actually causes the negative effect of it. Because when you start overseeing things, which result into overthinking things, then you start going the extra mile. Because the Bible, Brother Inambi, like you said, the Bible, he said the heart of a man is what?
Full of evil.
Thank you very much.
So if I want to talk about it, I would just focus on three things: inferiority complex, desperation, and depression. Sincerely, before you know what's happening, somebody is already thinking, okay, what I'm seeing in this space is what is supposed to be. So look at my life. That means I am not doing well. I am not a star. I am this person. Belittling yourself without even having a shot at life. So already you have limited your potential. That's for inferiority complex. Depression. Just like he said, you're looking at this family. This is the way they presented themselves, or they've been presenting themselves on social media. And then you're like, God, how quick can I get to this point? To the point that you want to do almost anything just to attain that height, or to attain whatever picture they are presenting. And then before you know, depression sets in. Probably you're telling yourself, in the next 5 months, let me be able to do these things and attain this height. If it doesn't happen in 5 months, if it doesn't happen in 1 year, you're already tagging yourself a failure. Before you know it, depression sets in. So those are those 3 areas I just want to look at.
Anyway,
Okay.
if I may come in here, I feel this social media has a lot of negative impact, more especially on the youth, the adults, because they are the most likely used. They are the most people who make use of social media. In terms of relationship aspects, it has a very negative effect on relationship as well. Comparison comes in, comparing your relationship with somebody else's relationship, because you're seeing something on social media. Oh, this person's relationship is so perfect.
Our God went.
Do you understand?
Our God
you
went.
start saying a lot of things about the relationship. Before you know, pressure has already set in. You might go off social media. You start fighting your partner. You start pressuring your partner to do some certain things, which you know your partner cannot afford such things. Do you understand? So, but that's with that social media space, you've seen, they only showed you what they want you to see. They can't show you any other thing. They want you to believe their relationship is so heavenly, is so perfect. But deep down, there's something going down there. So if you don't use your brain so well,
use it for let me add to
and
what
also,
you just said. Okay, 40 minutes. Or in fact, I can 40 minutes. Nobody young.
And also, lots of connection.
Yeah.
It can actually make you lose your connection with people you have, you know. You see some certain set of people on social media, you feel you want to connect with them, whereby those people you started with from the scratch and all that, you feel like, these people, they are not that important. Do you understand? I think I have to upgrade. Do you understand? I have to upgrade either by hook or by crook. I need to do something to be there. Do you understand? So before you know it, pressure sets in. You start pressuring yourself. You shall just want to be there, whatever it takes. So whether anyhow, we must be done. We must get there. So that thing it has actually affected a whole lot of youths' mind, and that is why you see most of them, they are quick to, they want to get this, they want to do this, they want to do that, not even thinking about the consequences of whatever, just for them to get it at that moment. By the time you know it, after that time, their eyes will just
open.
It will open.
That's if I thought it will open.
Definitely.
Well,
it will. But for some persons, it will. Why some persons, they don't care.
No. Nnamdi, let me just add something.
No, make I add. Make I add.
So it's easy to, because I like the reason that she's saying youth, young adult and stuff, because if you look at life itself, at the point whereby a baby is given birth to, you can mold that baby into anything that you want to.
Okay.
So who do you think has the highest tendency to be affected by this influence? Those people that are yet to be exposed. Those people that are yet to understand how things are supposed to be done. Those are the people that's why you see a dancing senator, his age bracket to be saying, what is he doing? Doesn't he have, because he wants to feel like. But you see a youth, I mean, the ones that they're even
vibing with him,
because that is there. So it's easy for influence to affect the youth, the young adult, that those that, because they tell you, what am I gaining it for?
Okay, thank you, Nnamdi.
Before I proceed, in the next podcast, she won't sit next to me. I have to be honest.
Why?
Calm down. This girl has some magical powers. She has been draining me. Anything where I call it for magic, I go shop. Guy, you know they do magic. I wanted to say something. She come.
I don't.
You can't eat. You can't wear. Mother can see what. So I want to add something to what you said.
Yeah.
You know, say this social media, to an extent, what we see most times is what people want you to see. And let me narrow it down to our relationship. You understand? Yeah. It has a very negative impact on our relationship. You made mention of comparison. Probably your friend is dating, or your sister is dating one rich guy like that. And the rich guy bought him an iPhone, bought her an iPhone, bought her a car. She now started posting it on the space, on the internet space. You were there happy with your own relationship, where they manage them. If you see them, you will say, now my own not work again.
And
another thing with the cause them now, all those relationship goals, what did they post for internet?
Yeah, it's still part of the social
they
media.
They talk and check those people where they post say the relationship is. They're not there with man. No?
Their own no deal.
Their own is even scattered, and they want you to be like them. That is why they will be giving you things we not even they obtainable. So you where they manage your own relationship with your boyfriend, where they happy. Life is all about being happy. You go begin the pressure, the mind. Before you know it, you go come out. That negative, it go start. Depression go come. Pressure will come. Happiness no go there, but you've been there happy before. But you don't even know waiting. Oh my God! If I want to lose Erika, let me because of time. Another thing I want to emphasize.
Viewers are diverse.
Thank you. Another thing I want to emphasize is on jealousy. Jealousy is just a reflection of our inner insecurity.
Yeah.
And it's an emotion, and if you leave it unchecked, it can damage any good relationship.
Which one is good? Is it jealousy that is good, or envy?
I'm talking about jealousy.
Jealousy.
Okay, jealousy is the bad one, right?
I'm talking about jealousy.
And envy. I know there's
Envy
one that is
partially
good.
to an extent.
Like, I'm happy for you.
Like, I envy you.
can say
Somebody
envy
saying
you.
I
I envy you. Doesn't
Like
mean that.
she-
Yeah.
Jealousy is the
Okay.
one.
So,
Jealousy
like
is
as I was
annual.
saying, as I was saying,
I'm learning.
if you don't manage that jealousy very well, because all of us have an atom of jealousy inside us.
Sure.
We are humans and we have emotion.
Yeah, of course.
Jealousy is even part of that emotion we'll talk about.
Yeah.
So if you leave it unchecked, it can damage your healthy relationship. Why do I say so? Let's take, for example, your wife is a career woman. She works in the bank, or she works with one big company like that. Then she go now go work, go take picture with her innocent mind. You think colleague go, you go see the picture. Before you know it, you go begin to check Instagram. Who be this woman? Who be this man? What they always snap picture with my wife. You go begin to monitor her. And when you start to monitor somebody, that action where you get, you go see something to justify that action.
Yes.
And before you know it, you will start going to her Instagram page, going through her WhatsApp page. You go begin to con something when no make sense.
Yes.
So what I want to, easy for me when they talk, but I manage my own.
You still get them.
Is work in
Everybody
progress.
has it.
It's work in progress.
For people that have relationships.
That's why I say. That's
People
why.
that have
Excuse me.
That's
It doesn't matter whether
That's why I say.
Any kind of relationship.
If you know manage them,
Okay.
it goes
So
spoil
jealousy, any
See,
kind of
any kind of relationship,
Then
like
you
you
get
might have a
both
friend
twice,
now. You
yes.
might have a friend that is doing well. Do you
Boyfriend and
understand?
girlfriend.
Not only boyfriend and girlfriend. You might have a friend, a guy friend that is doing well in his or her business or something. Do you understand? You might start getting jealous because of the progress that person is making in the course of that. Instead of you to just calm down, mellow down, try to do some research work, try to put yourself together, you start getting jealous about your friends' progress and success. Do you understand? That's now you're putting your relationship with that your friend
okay.
on the line.
So the relationship is not just with the opposite sex.
It's not just, it
It's
can
also
be with anybody. It's a general.
Then there is something we
Even siblings, it happens
trying to
among
forget
siblings.
here.
Do you know it happens among siblings?
There is something we are
It
trying to
does.
forget, Lillian.
That's why Adam skill Kane or
There is something
Kane.
we are trying to
Exactly.
forget in this
Ken,
discussion.
Okay, so
This effect too has a long way to go in our family. Social media.
We have not gotten to the last point. You want us
We are
to go
talking
there?
about the negative impact of social
Okay.
media.
Yes.
I wanted to make 3 points. If I make one, I'll call them work for my mouth. Now they prepared though.
okay.
So if you don't manage your social media very well, most times there's something we call partner hobbing. Partner hobbing.
What's that?
Partner, let me explain it.
Okay.
You go there with your partner. You know, give them attention, you get the praise phone.
I wanted to say that too. Thank you. Because
Yeah.
Because this negative, this thing plenty. And you not go know. We do it subconsciously.
Now.
It vex me. If I'm talking to you as a lady, I don't most times I don't press my phone. If I'm talking to you as my friend or my family member, I demand an equal or opposite attention. So these are part of those negative impact of what social media. And secondly, this social media don't make us sometimes we go too far from our family. We don't check up on them.
Yeah.
That you are seeing somebody's status doesn't mean you know what that person is going
through.
Sometimes you check up on someone.
I'm a victim. Of
That's
that.
the negative aspect of
That's
it.
the negative
But you know it has.
That's my. I'll tell you
But
as far as
it
seeing
depends.
positive
It depends on how you
sides.
utilize it. Now, in
You
that
know this
positive
thing you're
side,
saying
now,
as well. You can as well be a
that's what I wanted to say.
yes, so let's go to the positive sides now.
Calm
Continue
down.
with positive this time.
Every coin has its two side.
Of course.
If you
The head and
know how to make use of it, it's either use it for good or for what? Bad.
intentionally or not intentionally.
Yes. The world is now globally one village through the use of this phone. Now, with this phone, now we can check up to our distant family members, both the ones in Nigeria or the ones in overseas, because we have a cell phone. You can call them, chat them, hear their voice, check up on them. But most times we are carried away. That was that point I made about you seeing somebody start to your friend, your family member, or anybody with their part of your life. No means say you check up on that person once in a while. Try to use that social media. That's your phone, that's your Instagram, that's your WhatsApp. And thank God for WhatsApp. You don't cut call. Now, before that time, if you want to do international call, you go to fear. But now, even if your uncle, even if your wife, even if your brother is in America, you can use WhatsApp call. Nah, Kekime, how are you doing? Just Kekime goes a long way. Our generation, anyway.
Thank you.
So if we're looking at the positive one, there's something I
Are we
told.
talking about the positive?
Yeah, we are positive now.
Okay, I will tell people see, sieve, and save. Instead of you see, you store and think, because whatever it is that you want to get from any space, depends on what you know and what you want, if I will use that language. Okay, truth be told, you want something positive from social media space, you have to, first of all, register it in your mindset that you want positive, and that positive will come. There's a lesson in every person, like I always say. If you see a media space, some people will come and shout, "Oh, I can't visit this site. Why? It contains this blah blah content and all that." But the truth is, there is still something you can learn from it. Let me use an individual as an instance to explain what I mean. If I am a bad person, Lillian can learn from me not to be bad. So there's a lesson in every space, depending on what you have registered already in your mind. So the positive side of social media will start coming out when we ourselves, the users, decide within ourselves that this is the positive thing we want. Come to the area of relationship. What do I know about relationship? What do I know I should do to have a good time with my spouse or my girlfriend? Do I know anything? Such that when I go to the media space, I can sieve. I can tell myself, okay, this thing is not something I should work with. This thing is something I should work with. This is the positive angle of it. So there are positive things we can get from the social media space. Okay, let's use, for instance, somebody brings comes to talk about business, how to advertise business better. How about that's something positive I can learn? But trust me, somebody may see that same space and be like, "Man, what's this? This is
No, use it to scam you.
or even use it to scam the person who is even doing it." So the truth is, what is it in the mindset already? There are so many things that we can get as positives from the social media. I can leave and first.
Okay, so do we have tips for using social media mindfully? Anybody has tips?
Plenty.
One each. Okay. Please. Because of time. Thank you.
Because of time, you summarize all the tips. See your life. See your life as a social media. What your influence that you have as a person, as an individual, can do to somebody that is out there should be what you should put on social media. That's just.
I don't understand it.
How I can,
yes,
impact on people on social media positively, right? Yeah. So I think I can build up my skills, the things I do, what I know how to do best, to put it out there so that people who has been having that mindset of wanting to do what I'm doing, but they don't have that zeal, they don't have who to encourage them to speed up or to start up something.
Yeah.
I can actually do that, and people can see and know that, oh, if this person can do it, I can as well do it. Just for example, this lady, Hida Basi. Yeah, when she came out, a lot of people, people came out to support her, people came out to do so many things, to encourage her, and that was what kept her going. And as well, after she came out, after she did her stuff and came out, I started seeing a lot of bloggers, a lot of chefs, online. People started coming out. Some persons started coming out. Oh, I can actually do what Hilda can do. I can actually do what Hilda can do, even outside Nigeria, not even within Nigeria. Some persons were coming out. I can challenge her. I can do this. I can do that. You get, just make that space. Try to encourage people with what you do and try to do your best.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the last so Nnamdi, so can you tell us what we can do as an individual to improve our self-image on social media?
Our self-image on social media.
Yes.
Wahala. You are talking about improving your self-image in social media. Have you improved it off social media?
So that comes first.
That comes first.
True.
You have to know what is self-image.
Okay.
Do we go into that because of time?
The self-esteem.
You can rush it. Just give us a little.
When you hear about self-image in the layman's understanding, it's just more or less looking at, if you look at the mirror, what you see in the mirror. But it's far beyond that. Mm-hmm. It's all about how you see yourself in the global level, both internally and externally. You understand? Yeah. Your self-image. It's like a set of conceptions, idea, and mental reservation of how you see yourself as an individual. You understand? And this thing we talk now, it go take time because time no dey again.
Okay.
So next time, let's
Next
make it another topic. But the main thing is that you need to understand the main definition of self-image. Work on your self-image. Now,
Of
The self
social media first.
of them before you bring it up to social media, because whatever you're bringing up to the social media is just a reflection of who you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a really, really entertaining and educating segment with each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, so we're going to be drawing the curtains here, and please make sure you follow us on our social media pages. I remain Queen Glow. Mine is KWEENGLOW. This is powered by Corper Studios, and you're going to see the link on the scrolling through the screen right now. And if we have any last words, maybe you want us to follow you on social media, you can drop your social media handles or anything. Just last words from our guests, please.
Mine remains see, sieve, and save.
See, massive.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, my own has always been the same. It begins with you.
Okay. Any last words?
Work on yourself. Try to be real. Try to be who you are.
Okay.
That's it.
Comrade, do we have last word?
I concur with my friends
Senior colleague.
and my senior. But be that as it may, any experience that comes to us, what matters the most is our decision.
Yeah.
It can be bad, it can be good, but your decision goes a long way. So make the right decision, because at the end of the day, life doesn't treat you in regards to being good or bad, but life is the result of your decision. So if you are watching us now, start to use the internet, social media.
Be a better
Be
version
productive.
of you.
Use it well.
Be productive.
Sell yourself.
Yeah.
Sell your product. Someone is watching you.
You can buy me too.
Somebody's watching me too.
Be
You
productive.
understand?
I'm the
Be
one they are
productive
selling.
whenever you-
So that is it. So
Okay,
Don't
guys.
just scrolling. Try to use your time. That time you use on social media.
All right.
Social media, how would they
Okay.
get to
Thank
waste
you
time?
so much. It's been really wonderful having you here with us. Thank you so much. And remember, be you. Nobody else can be you. Just be you. No one else matters.
that your
Okay?
quote. Don't add dates. Change another one.
That's the quote I'm going to use. Be you. Be original. Don't be a copy of somebody.
anybody.
Be original. Okay. So till I come your way next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a nice one. Bye.